Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos cut pass rusher Randy Gregory just 4 games into year number 2 of what was supposed to be a 5-year, $70 million contract. Guys, I've been talking about this since the day that contract was signed. This had warning signs written all over it, and Broncos general manager George Paton should have known better. Before Randy Gregory ever came to Denver, he had already missed more games than he had ever played as a member of the Dallas Cowboys. That's not over the course of 1 or 2 years. This was a half-decade sample size. We knew who Randy Gregory was, and go figure. He signed with Denver, needed surgery on his shoulder immediately as the ink was drying, surprised the Broncos in that regard. He missed the entire offseason, came back for 4 games of the 2022 season, got hurt almost immediately, and missed most of that season. Then he comes back in year number 2 as a Bronco. He's actually healthy for the first time in a long time, and he was benched in favor of second-year pass rusher Nick Benito. This was a disaster of a signing for George Paton, and he should be held accountable for this one because the retroactive low-hanging fruit of criticism is so ripe, it's falling off the branch. You'll never be able to say you didn't see this coming with Randy Gregory. He got benched, he turned into a bad apple, and the Broncos are cutting this guy. They paid him a $10 million signing bonus, $28 million guaranteed. Guys, Randy Gregory got paid over $9 million per sack as a member of the Denver Broncos. And George Paton, the blood is on his hands because his tenure in Denver has gone off the rails. And this is the exclamation point on top of it. You look at the hiring of Nathaniel Hackett as a Broncos coach in 2022. He ended up being one of the fastest fires in NFL history, canned just 15 games into his tenure in Denver. You look at the Melvin Gordon debacle, the fumbling machine, another bad apple that they knew who he was, had him in the building, invited him back, cost the Broncos multiple games, had to cut him during the season. And then you look at this wide receiver room, which is the number 1 paid wide receiver room in the entire NFL, giving Courtland Sutton over $60 million, paying him like a bona fide number 1. Then circling back and giving Tim Patrick over $30 million when you already had Jerry Jeudy in the building as the highest drafted wide receiver in Broncos history. So now you have the highest paid wide receiver room in the entire sport with 1 combined 1,000-yard season between them. That is a disjointed construct of a football team. So you look at this stuff, the hiring of Hackett, the Randy Gregory signing, making the Broncos wide receiver room number 1 paid, and that might not even be the biggest. We'll see how it ages. But trading for Russell Wilson in one of the largest deals in NFL history and then paying him with 2 years remaining still on his contract when Russ in year number 2 has still totaled 5 totaled wins as a member of the Denver Broncos, and the new contract that's $250 million hasn't even kicked in yet. You put this all together, and who knows how the Russ stuff will age, but you put this all together, and these are not death by 1,000 paper cuts. These are gashes that bleed out an organization, and that's what the Denver Broncos are suffering from right now. This should be, and I believe will be, the last year for general manager George Paton on the job in Denver, Colorado.